Imagine a time when the world was a chessboard, and the kings and queens were nations vying for control. The early 20th century was such a time, with countries like Great Britain, France, and Germany engaged in a fierce battle for supremacy. It was in this global climate that the British Empire ruled over India, and it was during this period that one of the most significant events in Indian history occurred, the Partition of Bengal in 1905. To understand the Partition of Bengal, it's essential to delve into the pages of history. Bengal, at the turn of the 20th century, was a province of British India. It was a vast and populous region, with its capital Calcutta serving as the capital of the entire British India. The province was a hotbed of political activity, intellectual discourse, and economic growth. But beneath this bustling surface, there were simmering tensions. The seeds of discord were planted by the British colonial administration's policy of divide and rule. This strategy aimed to create divisions among different religious and ethnic groups in India, which would make it easier for the British to maintain control. And Bengal, with its diverse population of Hindus and Muslims, was a perfect testing ground. In July 1905, Lord Curzon, the Viceroy of India, announced the decision to divide Bengal. The official reason given was administrative efficiency. The province was too large to be governed effectively, the British argued. However, many saw this move as a blatant attempt to weaken the nationalist movement in Bengal, which was gaining momentum. The partition divided Bengal into two provinces, East Bengal, which was predominantly Muslim, and West Bengal, which was mostly Hindu. The division caused an uproar. Protests erupted throughout Bengal, and a boycott of British goods was initiated. This period saw the birth of the Swadeshi movement, which promoted Indian-made goods and self-reliance. The partition had far-reaching consequences. It sowed the seeds of communal discord between Hindus and Muslims, which would have profound implications for the future of the Indian subcontinent. The partition also gave a significant boost to the Indian independence movement. The protests against the partition were a precursor to the mass movements that would eventually lead to the end of British rule in India. However, the partition was short-lived. In 1911, in response to the intense opposition, the British decided to annul the partition. Bengal was reunited, but the damage had been done. The communal tensions that the partition had sparked continued to simmer, and they would ultimately lead to the tragic partition of India in 1947. In essence, the Partition of Bengal in 1905 was a watershed moment in Indian history. It was a move that, under the guise of administrative efficiency, sought to divide and weaken the Indian population. It sparked protests and a boycott of British goods, giving birth to the Swadeshi movement. It inflamed communal tensions between Hindus and Muslims, and it gave a major boost to the Indian independence movement. Despite its reversal in 1911, the partition left a lasting impact. It sowed the seeds of discord that would ultimately lead to the tragic partition of India in 1947. And it stands as a stark reminder of the divisive tactics used by colonial powers to maintain control over their subjects. The Partition of Bengal is a significant chapter in world history, one that offers valuable lessons on the dangers of divide and rule tactics and the power of united resistance. It serves as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. And it is a story that is all the more relevant today as we navigate our way through a world that is more interconnected and complex than ever before.